Check, check, check. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. We are live. Welcome everybody back to Gaming Daily Live. I hope that you're having an incredible Wednesday afternoon wherever you are in the world. My name is Icy Gaming. You guys know me. I'm excited for today's interview. He's backstage. I don't think I have much to say other than let's just get right into it. I guess I will just make sure that the audio is good on the stream and we are good. So, of course, we want to thank the incredible sponsors that make this show possible: YGG Play, Giga Chad Bat, Waifu Sweeper, AI Rev, Blaze, the beautiful platform that we're streaming on. Marcelo in the building on the Twitter chat. I appreciate you being here, man. Dude, can I tell you something, Marcelo? It wasn't until you and I spoke at like GDC where like I've been calling you Marcello for like a year and a half, and you're like, it's Marcelo. And I was like, wait, oh, like you said it, like I caught it and I was like, oh, I didn't know. And I was like, my bad, bro. My bad. I love you, man. Big shout out to did we name all the sponsors? I think we named them all. YGG, Waifu Sweeper, Blaze, AE in the building. Guys, let's just get right into it. I want to talk to this man, so we're gonna bring him up on stage. Sir Uncle Funk Drew, welcome to Gaming Daily. It is long overdue. I'm so excited to be chatting with you. Thank you for being here. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. What a pleasure. I also feel it's overdue. I've been stalking you for the past, I'd say, about 2 years, and enjoying your content. And I'm naturally, I'm tripolar. I'm consistently excited, angry, and bored. And when I like something, I like it, and I like you.
Oh, I like you back. No, that means a lot. Tripolar, I love that because I mean that's if I'm being honest with you, I love your subtitle here, delusional optimist. I mean, I feel like that's how you have to be in today's world, today's market. But they don't make it easy, Uncle Funk. They don't make it easy. I am equally as frustrated and at times discouraged. So maybe that's like a really great. Well, I guess we'll get into all of that because you have hot takes, you have good takes on the space. But I guess before we get into all of it, tell us a little bit about you, your background, how you kind of got into building a Web3 crypto game, building games in this space. I'd love to just learn a little bit more about you. You're from South Africa?
Yes.
That is incredible. I love that. I know some people, Megs, who worked with Sequence, was from South Africa, so I talk to her all the time. Cape Town looks like a beautiful place, and I would love to visit it someday.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful country. Yeah. I like it. We've traveled all over the world, and my wife and I, we have married for 27 years, and about 9 years ago we had a very big opportunity to go and stay in Franklin, Tennessee. And I like the States. I fit there, I fit a lot better than I do in South Africa. But South Africa, everything you read in the news is both true and false. So it's as bad and as good as you would think. But it's a country we stay if you feel that you're on assignment, and we feel we're on assignment. We love being here because we can help. It's a place of intense poverty, and my wife and I and my entire family, all of us are in NGO work in some level or the other. And my sister and brother-in-law, they head up to part of our NGO that
Wow.
feeds like does 80,000 meals a month. So we're here because we feel of use. When I went to the States, I felt very celebrated and loved and rewarded and honored, and because I traveled speaking about burnout and depression and stuff like that. And I'm a ministry guy, so I had a lot of. I mean, America is just the best if you're a ministry guy. It's just absolutely awesome. But South Africa is a good place to settle if you want to be able to make a difference with what you're used to in the States, with the same technology and the same there's a lot of that mindset, because we've got cinemas everywhere. There's American cinema everywhere, so we're kind of very American in our approach to life. Yeah, but love living in South Africa. It's very beautiful. Yeah.
I admire that a lot. I think like my ambition was always to, be successful and make, take care of myself and my family first, but then to be able to spend more time trying to give back, and helping others. And, there's a lot of like good that can be done in the world. I'm ashamed to like reflect on not being able to do that or do more of it. It's still kind of the goal. But I really admire and I'm inspired by people that are so selfless in that. And, I think that's like that is the right approach to put yourself in a place and basically like fully integrate your life into where you can do your work, but then also contribute and do the things that you're passionate about as well. So that's really amazing. How long have you lived there now? You said 7 years?
No, I've been here for 52 years. But 9 years ago we had a
9.
choice.
Yes.
We were gonna. Well, we've had a choice for a long time, but that was like really the pivot. The opportunity was there. It was the dream come true. It's like a $12,000 a month job. It comes with a house, car, Franklin, Tennessee, which is just like the town Grahamstown where I grew up. Funny, the place where I grew up, they renamed it from Grahamstown to Makanda. Imagine if they just turned the M upside down. I would have been born in Wakanda.
If only. That's so
Yes.
cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, but I think a brief history of Uncle Funk is, so at 16 years old, I come from very broken home, alcohol. Mom took her life while we were teenagers.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
So we grew up we've all, all of us have got our horror stories, but the kind of the joy was that we found a very good youth group. So if you do a quick jump from then until now, where all three of us, myself and my two sisters, come from painful, broken home. All three of us have been married for longer than 20 years. All our kids are healthy and happy. We're all doing well on every front. So that's largely attributed to what happened when we were teenagers. And we got into this youth group, and that guy had this philosophy, this youth pastor. It was a very cool dude. He had this philosophy where he said, you never hand out a pamphlet without a cup of soup. So I really liked the cup of soup part. I was quite a radical Christian, but what really resonated with me was the cup of soup part, and I just latched onto that. So I've spent my entire life from when I was 16 till now absolutely finding all my joy in being in high poverty areas, working with especially youngsters, kids, and when you're in that world, when you connect to someone's trauma, you connect to their drama, right? You've noticed that you can't just help a family member immediately. You can help. It's like I always counsel people, watch out for helping convicts, because if they know who helped them, they're in your life.
Right.
They're going to want more, and
Right.
generally when you help people, they get angry at you because they want you. They expect you to help more than you can. So you get right in the drama, and thank God we have the capacity for that. I'm also married a really strong wife, and all the people that we work with have a capacity to handle the drama. And one of the terrible things that we ran into was that because we did events and fed lots and lots of kids and helped lots of churches and NGOs and just got alongside it. But one of the realities we ran into is that here in South Africa, there are practices where you can basically buy a wife at 14 years old. And it's the most unsafe place on earth to be a little girl. So the more you're there, the more you actually see it. You start to see the terrible things, and you enter the traumas and the dramas. And so we did everything in our power to we've got a church, and then we've got all these NGO activities to raise up people who can handle the feeding sites, so that we could focus on Operation Safe Place, which keeps kids safe, which is a financial black hole. Let me tell you, half the time I can't pay my bills because it just eats everything. And we took the fundraising route, but even we raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it was never enough. Just in our region, there's 14,000 kids that you've got to constantly think about, who don't have shoes. Most of the girls are completely unsafe, and so tried many businesses which failed throughout the years to try and crank money in, and we kept on the NGO side of things, raising money until 2022. I saw NFTs for the first time, and I thought, now this is a stupid use of NFTs. All of this hype, scammery nonsense going on here, hype-driven commodities with inner alpha callers. So I didn't like that part at all.
Yeah.
So now, luckily, I came into Web3 and I looked around, who can help me understand this? So I'll tie the story together in a moment. And I looked around and I was like, who can help me understand? And I found Leon Abud. And he was running a discounted, he just started. He was running a discounted weekly training session for a year for $3,500 or something. It was like some heavily discount. And I was like, I want to do that. So my first mentor in Web3 was Leon Abud, and I saw him
good mentor
Thursday for a year.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And I managed to put together a really good team from his circle, and build great relationships.
Just a quick note on that. Sorry to interrupt you, but that is really incredible and heartwarming to hear, because I think that a lot of people could have come into the space and probably did, and found the wrong people to learn from and followed, and kind of either wasted money, wasted time, or had a bad experience. I don't know. I'm sure that's happened, but Leon is incredible in what he's built with his team and his company. I mean, thank goodness that you were able to be a part of something like that. That's really cool.
Yeah, he's a very sensitive guy as well. Like once or twice on a meeting. So I take everything personally. I'm a Gen X. We got eaten alive by the boomers, so most of us are just perpetually offended about everything. And if he noted, because it's easy to know if I'm offended, I just stop participating. And then he would call me, "Hey, you okay?" So I enjoy him immensely, and to this day, I love him and I support him. But he really helped me understand NFTs, and the reason that I got excited about NFTs is because at that point there were a bunch of us. I said, "Listen, we've got an opportunity here." My bread and butter throughout the years, and that was that opportunity to Franklin, Tennessee, is creative. God made me 98% creative and 2% IQ. So academically, I've never been that good, but man, you can put me anywhere and So I've directed hundreds of music videos and TV ads, and been in independent cinema and done blue chip marketing and all that nonsense. And all of it, especially like independent cinema, all of it just came together for my ultimate dream, which is to become a game developer. But I'm South African. I'm an NGO guy. It was always just out of my reach to build a game. Until, dun, 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 here comes Web3, here comes AI. I can suddenly make pictures that used to cost me $100 for an artist for one. I can crank out thousands, right? So we got so excited about building an ecosystem that could fund our NGO activities with our natural talents, storytelling, marketing, and our utter passion, which is gaming. That's your escape. And so we sat down and we said, you know what we love here is, obviously you've heard this before, the inventory can be all NFTs now.
Yes.
And that means that not only can we fund our NGO activities, but we can also have our communities launching NFTs that are playable. So 4 years ago already, we came up with this passion to say we want to make like a Magic Eden, but
Mhm.
every single NFT is playable in every single game. So we started that journey. Now, we knew nothing about Web3. We knew nothing about tech stacks. We knew nothing about game development. Nothing. We didn't have any money, and we jumped in. And so over the past 4 years now, we've managed to build out 4 playable demos. And one works on Telegram. We wanted to experiment everywhere. One works in Discord, one is on Epic Games, and one will soon be mobile ready, the roguelite. So we with this incredible passion to create, and this is the last thing I'll say there, and then I'll hand it over to you, to create a centralized wallet, which is an inventory that works in every single game that we'll ever make. And that allows our players to be able to launch their own NFTs that are playable in all the games, and it drives this buying pressure, to that centralized marketplace where they can make a living. So our CEO Rob always says our vision is not as much to create a $1 billion company as much as a $1 billion community. Like we'd like to have very wealthy community. So that's what we've been driving towards and been passionate about. And I know, most people in Web3 think, what is this guy talking about? Nobody talks like that in Web3. Yes, we are altruists through and through. It's what we've done. I am old. I've been doing it for 30 years. I don't want to do anything else. This is where I want to be. I love NFTs. I've come to love Web3. Everything in Web3 makes me simultaneously angry, hopeful, and heartbroken. But I love it. I love the friends I've made in Web3, and I love the technology we get to use. And I really love the fact that we get to make games and people can actually make a living playing the games.
I love that backstory, Uncle Funk. Really, really cool to hear that. Thank you for sharing. I do want to talk a little bit about the games and get a bit more of an understanding here. So I think these are the 4 games that you have. This is your Twitter banner here, which anyone who's watching and not following Uncle Funk Drew on Twitter, you got to go do that. But so Operation Safe Place, you were saying this is you also tied that to your work in South Africa, trying to help endangered people and some of the children and stuff. And were you saying that Operation Safe Place is a place for those people to go as well and play this game and be a part of that? Or was Operation Safe Place another, in addition to the game, another I guess thing that you're running there? I want to kind of understand that.
Okay, so we've got a lot of NGOs now.
Yeah.
It was one that just focused on feeding.
Yeah.
And then we managed to raise up a lot of leaders so that my wife and I could launch Operation Safe Place as an NGO itself that specifically focuses on our desire to keep kids safe. So right now we can fetch them on weekends and school holidays.
Yeah.
But our vision is to build full-on campuses where we can just permanently pull thousands of kids out of danger. So the game is called Operation Safe Place Defense because what we've done is we have taken the realities and built it into the lore. Very cool. It's a 1,000-year love story, Operation Safe Place Defense. The lore is it's a beautiful love story built across all sorts of madness. If you go back to my profile and you just scroll down, I think there's a pinned thing and you can actually see what the games look like.
Yeah, I was looking at this right before.
Yeah. So all of it is about defense and what you're defending. So in our lore, people from the future mean well. They want to come and they've sacrificed fertility on the altar of immortality, as most tropes go. And they want to come back into our time and grab kids who are going to be trafficked, grab them before they get trafficked. They want to come back into our time, but they mess up because they don't understand that there's actually a space between the future and the past called the in-between. So the whole story is just how the past goes to war with the future over misread intentions. And because in my world, people mean well and bring hell, and there's a lot of depth to what we're building. So what you're looking at there, that's the Telegram version.
Okay.
It's like a Plants vs Zombies, and those are all little NFTs that you chuck down.
Yeah, I was looking at
And they all
those. Yeah.
So it's a goofy mini game version.
Okay.
And yeah, then that anyone, I'll tell you any of them, and then that one over there, so you can just skip to the middle of it or whatever. That's actually a third-person shooter tower defense. Those are the NFTs on top of the turrets over there.
Okay. That's sick.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, this looks wild. This looks so cool.
Yeah, so we love Cyberpunk stuff. We love Destiny 2. We played Destiny 2 for 7 years. So there's a movement mechanic, like when the character runs around, it's called the Gasp movement mechanic in Unreal Engine, which is really cool. So that guy can climb and jump, and our thing with this gaming universe, everything we love about gaming in one game, so you can put down turrets, you can climb things, you can jump and run and shoot, and see, we were on Say, and then whoopsie daisy, Say canceled their entire gaming focus and canceled everybody's grants.
I definitely want to dive into that a little bit later on, but you just went through an alpha launch, correct? Was this for like a specific game or kind of like the ecosystem? What went through the alpha launch and how that go?
Our strategy is to do a soft launch, and like, I'm a big fan of the way Star Citizen's business model works, where the community just continuously funds everything they want, and so it grows at the rate of the community investment. So that's what we did, a soft launch. It was terrible, and it's slightly less terrible now, and it's getting better and better as a little bit of money comes here and there, and we're able to do this and that. Yeah. So there's, let's call them soft launches. We don't really make announcements. We just let our community know, hey, you can play that now. Hey, we just added that map. Go try it. Reviewers, man, they are terrible. They've got no context, man. They just go in there and like, this game can be better.
Right.
Dude, I had like 2 sticks and an underpants, not $50 million, you moron.
Well, okay, so I want to get a very clear understanding of I want to be able to hold this in my head. So OSP, Operation Safe Place, that is the one that we were just looking at, where it's the third person.
All of them are Operation Safe Place. All of them are Operation Safe Place defense.
Okay. And then these are different. So Gridlock, Echofall, Shieldfall, they're different game modes or different versions based on like platform.
Yeah, imagine, what's your favorite game? Or one of your favorite games?
I mean, right now, Arc Raiders.
Okay, so imagine if Arc Raiders had lots of mini games all sharing the same lore and the same inventory.
Yes,
that's what we're doing. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. And OSP Defense is on Epic Games. Again, forgive me because I just want to make sure I get it clear. The third person shooter this is Operation Safe Place Defense on Epic Games right now.
Yeah, it's third person shooter. Yeah,
very cool.
About to push a very big update, which I finally figured out how to do some UI things. I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Okay, and then the Telegram game that we're looking at, that's what was the name of that one? Gridlock, or no, the one on Telegram is Shieldfall. So this one is Shieldfall that we're looking at.
Yeah.
Okay, and then which one's Gridlock?
Gridlock, bottom left.
Probably the one that looks like a Gridlock.
Yes. So that one, look, this one is such fun because it's just a simple set of blocks.
Yeah.
And you throw your NFTs down, and this is our Discord native game. You install it as an app, as one of the Discord apps, and it is probably the most popular version because you can play other games and stuff, chat with your friends. I mean, on any good day, our voice channels are just packed with people playing this version already. But yeah, this is Discord, but it's also got a browser version, and we'll have like a desktop version. And this works on mobile, obviously. Anywhere you've got Discord, this one works.
Very cool. And then Echofall is on mobile and browser, and then Shieldfall we looked at.
Yeah, so this is Echo Fall. This is the picture you're looking at. There's a screenshot from inside the game. That's a roguelite tower defense. So we're busy. We're almost ready for people to give it a test.
Yeah,
And it's
wild.
yeah, so you know those top-down little run-aroundy roguelites, and you put down your turrets, and you so this one here, we were actually going to release a playable version this weekend, but we were handing out free NFTs on our website, and some dudes started like hacking our they were like botting our free NFT handouts. So we had to change the login process. So this game had to just wait a little bit, but it'll probably be this weekend. The community will be able to mess around.
Okay, so I just want to, I'm sorry, I'm like sticking on this point because I think it's really cool. You've made 4 or 5 different games. You've got a bunch of games kind of in the works. It's all one interconnected universe and IP. Every NFT is playable in the game. You've got this unified wallet. Like, that's really impressive, right? Like,
cool,
this is really cool. I guess, like, what did it take to do this, and why did you go this route to make the mini games and have it all interconnected? Because wouldn't it be easier to make one game? I guess, like, talk me through that.
Okay, well, just alpha. The 5th one coming is called Containment, and that's basically Slay the Spire, but operations.
Cool. I love the names, by the way. The names are sick.
Yeah, well, AI is very helpful with your naming. So, well, actually, Jason, one of the guys, he came up with the fall thing. You know, he was like Echo Fall. I was like, yeah, let's go. Well, okay. I'm really old, so going through my life in marketing, you had to learn to do something called agile concurrency. So you've heard of agile production management, right?
Yes.
So agile concurrency is just agile production management, but your mind is trained to handle multiple things at the same time that all work together. So you're building them concurrently, and you're able to, your money goes a lot further because you're able to utilize whatever works in one place in another. So that's number one. Number two, when you're building a game, whether you're doing it or somebody else is doing it, sometimes you can only get that far with your money, or you have to wait for a dev to do his thing. You just sit around. So you can be busy with something else that'll add value to what you're building on another level. You know, so when people say, you know, only focus on one thing, I say only focus on your capacity. If you can do one thing at a time, do one thing. If you can do 2 things at a time, do 2 things. But myself and Rob, I mean, Rob is the most prolific concurrent project switcher I've ever worked with in my life. Our CEO, he is spectacular the way he switches between things, because it's muscle memory. So he's been an entrepreneur since his teens. I've been out of necessity because of NGOs, had to be, you know, and you can't just be a jack of all trades. You have to be a master of all trades. And you know, it's a saying that I heard a mentor say one day that I live by, and he said, you know, greatness is a response to intense adversity. You know, like without adversity, there can be no greatness. So you know, so setting yourself challenges that fit into your comfort zone, not going to produce greatness. They're going to produce mediocrity. But you know, so when you go at everything that you can possibly do with everything that you possibly have, your capacity increases to set standards that are at a certain level. And you know, burnout occurs from wrong relationships. You can't overwork. You can only be, you know, dramatized to death when you're when you're in terrible working relationships and stuff like that. So the myth of overworking is it's just crazy. As long as you've got family balance, you're fine. So the way we're able to build multiple things at a time is because, number one, it was the best business model. We want to drive demand to our community's NFTs. The best way to do that is to have multiple use cases, because it's all about the community. It's about their NFTs. You bought that NFT. If somebody gives you their money, they've given you their blood, man. You are responsible for the return in every possible way you can. And if your capacity is to concurrently do multiple things that are going to make the chances of that person's prosperity better or higher, then you owe it to them to throw heart and soul at it. It's like, I see, why are you doing that and that and that? Because I can.
Yeah.
Don't measure my capacity with your lack of capacity. So yes, mostly because we can and because we have to.
Right.
If you build one game in Web3, we saw have a look at all the big games that they spend huge amounts of money. If you build one game in Web3, you still think you're on Steam, my man.
Yeah.
This is not Steam. Here, whether you're using tokens or NFTs, the way you build has to really focus on driving utility and demand, utility and demand, utility and demand. And that is our why.
So let's talk a little bit more about that then. I totally understand. Incredible games, whole ecosystem, because you guys are striving for greatness and are great, clearly, because of what you've built. How else are you thinking about the utility for the NFTs and the demand, and like solving for that distribution, solving for that gameplay? Like, how do you think about also balancing that, right? Because kind of one of the issues early NFTs was there wasn't enough demand, right? And people would or there was demand but not enough utility, and then when there wasn't enough utility, the demand fell out, so it was like kind of a death spiral. But also there was the expectation debt on top with the community who bought these NFTs one time and then expected rewards and benefits in perpetuity forever. And so there was this mismatch of alignment and incentives from the projects and then the community. So I guess, like, how do you look at that, and are you designing for it and thinking about it with OSP?
Well, very, very good question. Very. So you've got two worlds and people who go into business don't always realize that these two worlds are equally as important. The one is user acquisition and the other one is user retention. So from the word go, you have to, when you design anything that you build, you have to have acquisition and retention in mind. So if you only build for acquisition, you're going to have to do a lot of pivoting and bolting and nutting and trying to fix this and that to try and get the thing to get to a retention state. But so from the beginning, that's really kind of one of the things, many things that irritate me about the NFT culture, but it was all about the acquisition and not much beyond that. Now, we can't really hold people responsible because I mean, you can, but you also can't, because when you don't know what you don't know, you end up in the Dunning-Kruger hive mind.
Right.
You're caught up in this buzz. And I mean, when I climbed up on one of the first assignments I got from Leon, and I misunderstood it completely, is he said, the first thing you got to do is go to 100 spaces, crypto spaces. And I thought that was my homework between this Thursday and next Thursday. So my very first experience was jumping on stages, the 100 spaces, just as the bull market had crashed, talking about the same vision I'm talking to you now, and getting sworn and hammered and shouted at, and listening to what these people had to say. And I realized that these people are so trapped in a Dunning-Kruger hive mind that they speak with utter confidence about things they don't know anything about.
Right.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I think I was 48 or 49 at that time. And I'd been through so many businesses. Like, these people are all going to go bankrupt. All of them. They're all going to fail because they are so confident in their stupidity and ignorance. And how do I know that? Because I've been there, and I'm still there many times, but now I'm old enough to recognize the signs.
Right.
So the strategy was to build out the entire gaming ecosystem, market system is built with acquisition and retention in mind. So let's start off with what we're building. Well, the what is if you were on Steam and you could actually offboard the money that you made from selling your guns to other players, right?
Mhm.
So that's the what. What makes it possible? Ownership of your inventory. Well, ownership. You own the NFTs, right? We can still balance the game and make your day very bad because we found your exploit.
Right.
But the thing is, it's what makes it possible is it's your NFT and you can offboard. So we found a great partner now as well. And if they're not a typical Web3 liar, you'll be able to offboard straight into your Visa with your tokens and stuff, and you'll be able to swipey, and that makes us very happy. So that's the difference between Web3 and Steam at number one. But the moment you start dealing with money, you've got to start thinking differently. So it can't just be I'm building a game. They're going to be able to have NFTs. They can sell it to other players, have some money, make some money, offboard it. It can't be that because now they've got money.
Yeah.
Those NFTs are worth money. Their time is now worth money. It's not just the entertainment anymore. There's a financial factor.
Right.
What happens when there's a financial factor is the brain starts to switch to different modes. There's a lot of lizard activity going on.
Right.
Fight, flight, freeze. So the stakes are higher. So in your retention strategy, you've got to make sure that you're compensating in a big way for the fight, flight, freeze responses to, oh my goodness, I'm not getting the value that I could, or that person just did me in, or so what you do then is you use every single available tool. So luckily now you get stuff like moats, which I'm very excited about. We've been live streaming on Arena for 360 something days every day, and on Blaze for a couple of months every day, and we're seeing them. They out of necessity, because you can see both Arena and Blaze rise to greatness. See them overcome that adversity, and you watch them rise to greatness. And then your retention strategy is to be next to the people whose interest it is to retain users, and then use all their tools, integrate them into your game as fast as you can. As fast as they develop, you do it.
Yeah.
See, so that's because I'm not a Web3 economist. I don't think anyone really is. But you've got guys like Arena Social making all the mistakes for you.
Right.
Blaze dudes have made their mistakes on Salvor before they did the Blaze thing, and now what Blaze has built is just absolutely incredible. So now you integrate all of their tools into your gaming ecosystem. Arena is now really pushing moats. So we go to the moat, and now we've got staking mechanisms. We can, we launched like an experimental Funk token before we do our TGE stuff, so we could make a mistake on a smaller scale. And you can see, okay, there's staking mechanics, reward mechanics for holding onto your NFTs. Now in the game, the NFTs got even more worth, even more demand, and that user retention starts to shift from just playing the game to actually enjoying the gamification of a financial life, of the gamification of economics, if you want to call it that. So our retention strategy is to make sure that we are sharp enough to get next to the sharpest minds in retention. So like we went over to Pump.fun, launched something there, had a look, and we saw, okay, now this place is a utter... I mean, I was so disgusted by Pump.fun that we actually started a little area, the capital of Aethera, our games thing is called the Citadel. So in the Citadel, there's little regions, and we made a slummy place for the Solana people called Slumlana. And we made like slummy properties you can buy with the Funklana token. Yeah, there you go. That's the Citadel. Yeah, so we thought, okay, we don't really want to do much.
Is Slumlana on here, or
I don't think it's on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I like it though. Gridlock,
stinky
Friend Zone, Tower Defense Battlefield, Warp Gate. I mean, this looks awesome. This graphic is wild. But looks like
even
so
AI,
cool.
Bro. Yeah, that was GPT helped us there.
Yeah.
Hey! Was that sexy guy in that shirt? So in essence, the retention strategy has to be agile production management. You've got to get next to the people who are driving with technology. Like, we had a great meeting, so one of the Shibites, the Doge people, Alex, they're about to launch like something incredible, like a Dogeco. It's, I think, like a coin, and they are so passionate. And so you sit there listening to that guy, and he's like, wow, he's like more me than me, and and you're like, okay, that guy has made more mistakes than I could ever make.
Yeah.
So because he tells you about what he's been through, and then he's like, okay, and this is what we're going to do. And I'm like, yes, we've got to align with that guy and try and get his technology to work in our game with what he's building. So the retention when it comes to money is about aligning with retainers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Growth through collaboration, cross IPs, community as well. I get a deep sense of community in what you do and what you build. I can't believe you've been streaming on Arena for, you said over
360 days. Yeah. Every day. Yeah.
That's incredible. Congratulations.
Sometimes it's like, that friend that they're not cool anymore, but you just drag them along with you to party. But
that's me in crypto gaming right now.
Yes. Just dragging it along to
that's really cool. How has that experience been for you? I love that, right? I'm doing my day, like it was daily. Now we're kind of doing 3-4 times a week. I did a daily video Monday through Friday last year, as you know. I love that commitment and showing up day after day after day. I guess, what has that been? What inspired that for you, and how has it been for you? I guess you're working on the game, you're kind of showing people, building it alongside your community. I'd love to hear more about that.
Again, fantastic mentor in my youth, so he's a very wealthy guy, and he used to go to these conferences at Fortune 500 companies. And then he would come back, and I was in my 20s, Dunning-Krugering hard, man.
Yeah.
And he used to come and give me the TLDR of what he experienced, because I wanted to know. And one of the most impacting things he said to me is, he said, there's a 1,000-day rule in the Fortune 500 companies.
Yeah.
And that 1,000-day rule is, when you start something up, you show up for 1,000 days at your maximum balance hours.
Yeah.
So if you don't have wife and children, you've got an extra 3 hours to work. If you do have wife and children, you make sure that you got less 3 hours, and it depends on your capacity. So if you can do an 18-hour day, or some days you can do 16, but you've got to do 7 out of 7, 365. He says balance is not something you do during the week. It's something you do during every single day. So when you build something, you commit for 1,000 days. So everything I did since my 20s was, and I'll explain just how crazy this principle works, was I commit 1,000 days, whether it works or not, because whether the project works or not, it works in me. Like the effort, the failure, whatever it is, it's producing a version of me that destiny demands. So he
producing a version of me that destiny demands. I love that.
Yeah, well, destiny is not just interested in a couple of actions. It wants a particular kind of person, right?
Yeah.
So, because everything you've been through and everything that's happened to you is producing the version of you that is qualified and deserving of what you're pursuing. But anyway, so he says, think about this. The average guy is going to put in 3 hours a day, maybe 4 or 5 days a week. There's a compound effect if you put in every hour you've got in your youth.
Yeah.
And for like 3 years, 1,000 days of intense focus, you're going to grow stronger communities, stronger businesses. You're going to fail faster and recover faster. Your muscle memory is going to kick in, and it's going to feel weird not to. So it feels weird for me not to stream. Like I just picked up some terrible virus, and I was sick for 7 days a week ago, and the community had to like handle the streams every day. You know, so I could show up here and there a little bit, but I was half dead, man. I couldn't even
Yeah.
drink water. So I felt lying there, dying of sickness. My eyes go open at 7 p.m. I got to go live, but I can't get up. I'm not sick. And I
Wow.
lie there in my sick state feeling this is unnatural because
Mhm.
your muscle memory. So the power of that 1,000-day commitment. So we're approaching the first year of that 1,000-day commitment to going live. But I've just hit my 1,000 days of commitment to building the game 18 hours
Yeah.
a day. You know,
Incredible.
yeah. So yeah, it's life changing. Those kind of principles. Yeah.
That's so incredible. Thank you for sharing that. I'm really enjoying the conversation, and it like makes me realize, we saw Sinjin post about you the other day. And you guys are like very much kindred spirits. I get similar kind of energies from the two of you. And obviously we love Sinjin. He's incredible. Oh, let me get that right there. So yeah, I mean, how did it feel for you to see like this post from Sinjin kind of getting a little bit of your flowers to a degree, but at the same time, I guess, how has it been for you to build in the space every single day with a pure heart and intention and trying to do things the right way? And yeah, I'm trying to navigate like the wildness of the space, seeing people who it's like, what are you doing? This is not going to work. You guys don't know what you're doing. And, and it must be like, a little maddening at times. How are you, I guess, how do you reconcile that with knowing what you're building, but then also being on Twitter and, being amongst, peers who are, I'm sure there's a certain level of respect for people being in the arena of like, okay, no one knows how to do this and we're all trying to figure it out.
Mm.
But at the same time, pretty sure what you guys are doing is not going to work. But I guess like,
well, yeah, I mean, I don't approach it like that. I think in a lot of cases, luckily, I don't have to follow everybody. I block people a lot, like immensely. I mean, I used to love listening to Gamified. It was part of my ritual, and then I just couldn't anymore because there's half the people I block are, they're on the Gamified show. So, like, so, like,
can I admit something to you, Uncle Funk? I don't think I've said this publicly, because it's very not the Icy brand. But I've not blocked people, but I have muted. I have a mute list, and it's not very big. There's maybe like 5 at max 10, somewhere between 5 and 10 people, where like some people that I actually like, I love and I respect, but I can't, like, it disrupts my peace on a daily basis to see.
That's a very important principle.
Certain tweets, and I'm like, I'm just gonna mute you because I don't want to see it. I go
well,
to
your emotional drive, I see, is the most important token you've got in your bags. You understand? So people who affect your emotional drive, if they don't have a right to be there by blood or by marriage, you have no obligation towards them.
Yes.
And because you've got to show up. This is hard work. I mean, you got to sit here and pretend you like me. It's like
it's not hard work.
Yeah, but I mean,
you make it easy.
But there's a lot of guys that come on the show that you're like, oh God, help me! What the? Oh, let this time go. Like, so your emotional drive, you need a full tank all the time. And so first off, I don't judge fools because I'm a professional fool myself. I've made more mistakes than those guys will ever make. So I just think, oh man, that's gonna suck, because a lot of the guys just telegraph their failure, especially when they come, listen to a little bit too much of Andrew Tate, and I know, boy, you are in for a wild ride, man. You are gonna get hurt. Your heart is gonna be broken because no woman on the planet is going to, So when I see that kind of, the bros, and I'm like, ooh.
There's more to life, and like people can. It's a big problem. People can be led astray. People can go down the wrong path because, some of these people, they'll say, of the 10 things that they'll say, 2 or 3 will be like, okay, there's some solid stuff there, foundational. That's right. But then the other things that they say, they'll slide in some crazy ones, and some, for an impressionable mind, it's hard to discern.
Yeah, well, I mean, how much poison does it take to ruin an entire glass of pure water?
Yeah.
One drop,
Yeah.
So, so to fall prey to, and I mean, Web3 is full of it. Not so much as when I arrived, but full of the alpha personality. The I mean, I talk about this publicly. I had a massive falling out with that Gary guy from the giraffes, or whatever, the Gary Coin dude. I don't know. It's a long time ago, but like every time I climbed on a space, because it's guys like in Wikipedia it says the word narcissist. There's no writing. It's just that guy space. Like so I mean, textbook narcissist.
Yeah.
So gaslighting and all that kind of thing. And I just hammered him the whole time, like any space I climbed on, because I saw that everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially on Solana. Like
Yeah.
Solana is like, it's like narcissist heaven.
Yeah.
And so the way that those guys work is they sell care. Because how does a narcissist work? This is going to be free. Let's go. Number 1, love bombing. Right. Number 2, gift bombing. Right. Number 3, they call it constructive criticism. But the problem is, in order for criticism to be constructive, it must construct, right? So when it starts like that. So a good relationship goes love bombing, gift bombing, love bombing, gift bombing, love bombing, gift. It's just continuously, we encourage each other. But you'll see that those guys, what they do is they position themselves to control you, and then they'll start using your fears and your and your faults as a means of control, because now they say, no, listen, now you've got to listen to me, you're messing up your life, la 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 la,
Right.
and then they take advantage of you and control you. And the moment you want out, then they start turning their community and your friends against you, and those are called flying monkeys, right? It's called the flying monkey stage.
Okay.
So you see a lot of that kind of gangsterism in Web3, where you want to leave that community, and suddenly the whole community turns on that poor guy. And I was like, man, I've seen that in churches. So like, this is like a place full of culty churches. So navigating that it's just been a matter of, and you asked me how I felt about Sinjin's post, was like, Sinjin gets me, because I'm super intense, as you can see, and it's we've built an incredible community, but it's lonely as heck in the greater Web3 ecosystem, where narcissists get all the attention.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that as well. And it's tough, because I strive not to play games that I don't like, so I don't like to do the engagement farm thing. I don't like how I feel when I see it. So I never want people to, I don't want to do those things. Now, have I done a giveaway here and there? You gotta, there's certain things that you have to do, good social media stuff, but it's things that I would stand behind, I'm like comfortable to do. And it is lonely is a really good word to say it, when you see people have so much success with such little substance. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to reconcile that, other than just to do what I feel is right. And what,
well, I mean, you've obviously been raised right,
single working mom, only child, grew up with, she instilled a lot of empathy into me. And everything that I am is because of my mom. So
that is great, man. Yeah, I mean, you're like really a stellar guy. Your character is incredible.
Thank you.
I've loved. There hasn't been a single post that you've made that I've not liked.
I appreciate that. I try to be conscious of the energy and the message that you put out. When I started my Twitter account, day one in my bio was to make positivity louder, and that's this idea that I got from Gary Vee, which he can go too hard on the hustle culture concept, but I really like that idea of trying to increase positivity and support in the world. You said constructive criticism, and one of my favorite quotes that I learned from one of my college professors in college, probably the only thing that I took away from college, was he said there's no such thing as constructive criticism. He said all criticism is destructive in a form, in a way, shape, or form. And so if you're going to give feedback, it's the feedback sandwich. You start with the positive, and then you kind of can share the constructive feedback, and then you end with positivity as well, of like, well, you're doing a great job. And I always really resonated with that, because I think we
I
can
love
either,
that. It's very good.
yeah, we can either build or you can destroy, and I don't want to destroy anything. I want to build and choose
Are you sure you're not in
abundance.
our community? Like you've been sneakily there hanging out with
Yeah, I mean, I
I-
think we're all,
same
one, right?
spirit. Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't like destroy. Like you can call out things because another very important principle. I obviously we do a lot of mentorship and things.
yeah,
where we and these young guys, they're in high poverty, and I tell them, you've got to find what you hate, no matter how awesome you are, kind, wonderful, whatever. You got to find something to hate, not someone, something that you hate intensely in the world around you, and then realize that that is part of your assignment to fix or to change or to answer, or
yeah,
because in my deeply religious belief system, I believe that we made on purpose by a God of purpose for a specific purpose. So I
mm,
believe that everybody's created as an answer to something terrible.
mm,
When you deal with people, depression, especially religious folks, they're like, how can God put us on a terrible planet like this? And so, well, some people are the problem and some people are the solution. And sometimes you just got to reconcile the fact that you've been put here naturally good. Because if you think about it, from when you were a kid, you didn't want to do what the other scumbags were doing. Peer pressure just didn't affect you.
yeah,
They were scumbagging, and you were just like on the edge, like staring, like, what the hell am I doing on this planet? So you'll feel that way in Web3 often as well, where you're like, am I the only guy
yeah,
who sees what these people are doing?
yeah.
No, there's a lot of people doing it, and you can hate that behavior.
Hmm.
But often criticizing is not going to change it.
Yeah,
What the criticism does is it finds the people who align with you
yeah,
in the same hatred.
mm,
You see, so you can't change someone else. Like, I'm not going to change the behavior of Web3 by doing my tirades.
right,
But what happens is I find other people who are just as angry as I am, and want the same things that I want,
right.
and then that is really where that kind of greatness starts to rise. Where you find, okay, I resonate with that one, and then you become a gang.
Yeah, it's like a self-selection to a degree. Speaking of seeing people, I just want to shout out JT in the Blaze chat. Thank you for the raid, brother. Thank you for the votes. I think JT ended his stream, but is enjoying the conversation so much that he's hanging around. So I appreciate you. And Ghost Cat just joined on the Twitch stream. So appreciate you, brother. We got Ghost Cat coming on the show sometime middle of May. So I'm really looking forward to that. Uncle Funk, man, you are a beautiful soul and an incredible human being. I've so much enjoyed getting to know you a bit more. I wish that we had connected sooner, because you lead and you build and you conduct yourself with intention, with purity, with a sense of abundance and a delusional optimism. And I think that's so fantastic, because I always say, like, I'm so inspired and driven by the builders and the creators and the makers, the people that had an idea and a dream and have shown up for 1,000 days trying to bring it to reality. And my inciting goal was to support those people, and the strategy was to just kind of keep growing. And the more that I grew, the more people I could reach, the more that I could spread someone else's message. And you have a great message to share, Uncle Funk. I want to come back to the game a little bit because OSP, Operation Safe Place, is in many ways one of your vessels. I know because you've got a lot going on with your NGOs and your family and your community, but through Operation Safe Place, your game studio and everything that you're building, what does the rest of this year look like for you? What does constant iteration, showing up, continuing to build the game, grow the community, are there any major things that you're focused on or working on or you're excited about, or are there going to be like levels that you're unlocking? I know you kind of talked about some of the partnerships and you've got going on, but I guess, like, how are you as a builder who's been building for years, looking at 2026, the space that we are in, the year that it's been so far, AI and games and crypto and wars and everything? Like, I'm trying to, the reason I ask, Uncle Funk, is because, and you're so wise, so I'm really looking forward to your perspective on this, but I'm trying to answer some of these questions for myself, and I'm really interested in talking to the other builders who are like, well, hey, like, this is what I'm seeing and this is what I'm working on and planning. So yeah, curious your perspective.
Well, our first major battlefield is we need to find a new chain. We gave incredible loyalty to Say,
Yeah.
and I can't judge their why. I think I understand it because they were really botted, and I mean, their grants were exploited, but it hit us very hard because we've lost a lot of money that would have helped us develop that. Got cancelled with the cancellation of all these grants for the different games, and I mean, they fired the entire game development team. So we need to find a new home because hook or by crook, we're doing the pre-TGE on the 30th of April, which is like 7 days from now, and the way we do our pre-TGE is like it's not the main TGE. It's kind of like, I don't know if you remember how Hyperliquid did it. There's an XCTL token that'll come, and it doesn't matter, how. But anyway, but the thing is, we need to find a home. So we are earnestly in the next few days trying to find a home. We were really looking at AVAX, but Little Dom at the top there is just. I'm not going to do anything with Little Dom. If Coop was still there, we would have probably just gone over. But we're looking for a chain first off that is really passionate. And once that's locked down, then we can just relax a little bit, and then we've got to launch 12 million NFTs in preparation for our game launches. Because 1,000 players in our ecosystem, just a little extra thing there. Our part of that retention strategy is we've got something called an infusion system where you can put any NFT into any other NFT to change the properties of what your turrets and guns do. And the rarity of our NFTs determines how many things you can infuse. So an ultra exotic can take 25 infusions, but you can infuse 25 ultra exotics into an ultra exotic. So that means a loadout of 25 things is 16,000 infused NFTs.
Yeah.
So the average, S tier player is going to need a lot of NFTs. So we've got to be ready with that. So we're busy automating the heck out of like you'd be able to launch an IC range, which you can already do on Launch My NFT. So you'd be able to launch that range yourself. You keep 80% of the proceeds, and so and then it's playable in all the games. So our priority is to get that system automated. So first we've got to find a chain that we can call our home, get that system automated, and then start working on the final rollout of, so it's called the Citadel. So we want to have an unprecedented clan, streamer, player, community, social fire, unprecedented reward system where like we've started experimenting with our integration with Blaze. So you'd be able to launch like your NFTs, and then you'd be able to tip all your viewers with NFTs, and they'd be
Mhm.
able to tip you, with their clan NFTs. And so launching the automated AI tech for that makes it easy, and it handles. So there's a big difference between profit share and direct marketplace revenue. So we want people to get immediate direct marketplace revenue of anything they do ever. So that's our current focus. Our focus is find a chain so that we can just get set up with that tech, because all of the games are going to be ready at least phase 1 in the next 2 months. So that's number one. Then number 2 is obviously we're hunting high and low for an angel, to replace the say thing, it's
Mhm.
because it's very expensive.
Yeah.
It's not just vibe codery going on. We're vibe coding as well, and we've got AI helping us in Unreal Engine now as well, which is really awesome, but it's still time consuming and expensive, and so we need to find that angel. But future wise, more and more games all using that same central marketplace focused on driving demand to the player NFTs. And I think, if Magic Eden, or, if Magic Eden, all of the NFTs were playable in all of the games, and people could just launch their NFTs and then they would play playable, that's really what we'd like to build. And what is the future of gaming? So my last line over here is augmented reality on mobile. So we are getting, all our games are built in such a way that in 3 years, 4 years, when you can finally just put on a pair of glasses, Bluetooth connected to your phone, go down to a football field with your friends with some Nerf guns. We're getting ready for that. Throw down cards and they become turrets. Like, that's where we're headed.
Very, very cool. Ghost Cat says he is also looking for the passion in a chain. And Future in the Blaze chat said he said Future. That's incredible, Uncle Funk. It's, I'm so sorry about the Say situation. I was working with Heroes of Hold'em, and they were on Say, and they were impacted by that as well. And they told me, and it just broke my heart, because like you, they're incredibly passionate.
Oh, they're amazing people. I love them, man.
Yeah. Shout out to David and Michael, and they're just, they've got a really great game, and it's really a shame that the industry has just been so tough, because we were talking about it earlier. Gaming is the thing that makes sense for blockchains, and and we all just see it. So, like Sam says, I fully believe that the space is inevitable. It's just going to be a hard path there, and it might not be, this year, but like you said, a few years down the line, we all see where this is going.
Ready Player One is coming.
Yeah. Ghost Cat says a founder speaking like this is great, makes me bullish on the space, and there's still good folk being here. Yeah, 100%. That's why I wanted to I was excited to bring you on, Uncle Funk. And I threw up that tweet the other day because I was like, I want to try and have a platform where people can come, and we can try and, play our role and create those ripple effects so that, other people can see things and discover the greatness of Uncle Funk and Operation Safe Place.
The state of Web3 gaming, it's that same social media 5% loudmouths who have no idea what it looks like below the splash pool of their limited perception, because most of them have never founded or built anything in their lives. So they don't really know what's going on. For your viewers, Web3 really is inevitable. The gaming aspect, it really, nothing has slowed down.
Yeah.
You're just seeing the markets, and you think that the market reflects on what builders are building. There are thousands and thousands of builders building, suffering, but there's always the silent majority. Most builders are not charismatic. You see a few charismatic builders and you think all builders are like, and most of them are devs.
Yeah.
They are in their basement, going to work, a little bit of money and time, building a bit. In their basement, coming back. They take 5 years, man, 3 years, 5 years. There's greatness occurring. They are clever. They are awkward. They are borderline like autistic. They cannot. Most of these devs can't climb on a stage or even type on social media.
Mm.
And yeah, it'll fail until it succeeds. It's succeeding.
Yeah.
It's not failing. This, like, you're seeing the gold rush, where the first toothless prospectors came in and the gunfighters came in before there were sheriffs, and you're not seeing like the reality of how incredible this world is, like what we're in. It's such a privilege to be alive right now with what we have. Berna and those boys, that we all, they don't know anything about anything. They're just trying to make a living, man. They're nice guys, but they don't know. They're kids,
I shout out to Berna, love Berna, but yeah, I talked to him and I'm like, brother, you're like 20 years old. Like, I love the passion, and the only way to learn is to go through it. You get the experience. I can try and share some things here and there, but I kind of look at them like, like it's your young kids, and it's like, okay, like you're gonna go and learn and make your mistakes or have your experiences. And I told them this on our call, is like, the person that you are now, like a year from now, is going to be very different. Some of the things that you're working on, you're going to try them, it's going to be good, but it's going to be
such
very
respect
different
for failure. You're going to have such respect for failure. Like when you review a game, you're going to look at that thing and say, okay, what did these guys have?
Yeah, for sure. And we've seen that. I mean, I saw it with Jonah. Jonah's in his founder mode now, and he said it publicly, like, now that he's in this position, he's not as critical or outspoken, or he holds his tongue
so
a
I
lot
can
more.
unblock him.
Yeah,
not yet.
No, nothing but love and respect to everybody. We're all just finding our way, and so some of us sooner and slower than others, and we're all just on this crazy rock together.
Everything is difficult, and until you kind of realize that, man, I tell you, I was so angry. I can't remember which reviewer. They jumped into there was a Say game where you fly around on dragons, right? So now the guy didn't have money. He doesn't have money. He had a little bit of money, right? And but he produced. You can climb on a dragon and fly it around, right?
That's pretty
the guy
cool.
did it,
right?
I climb on the dragon. I'm flying. I'm like, look at how nicely the wings go. Like. Then the review is like, there's no direction in the game. And I'm like, dude, if I find you in real life, I will beat you. Do you know what that guy went through just to sit on the dragon, fly it, and look at the wing? You look around, there's wings, and like, you are so spoiled, you muppet. Anyway.
It's so true.
Everybody.
It's so true. It's so true. It's a gift and the curse of being on the internet. There's someone wrong on the internet.
The wise and the fools both have the same microphone.
Yeah. I had this isn't exactly related to this, but I was meeting with one of my mentors a week ago, and he shared basically his operating principle for life, and it's a quote that he heard. And it was basically like, all I have to offer the world is my own confusion.
Yeah.
And I was like, I love that. Yeah. Same here. And
there's a great quote for parenting. It says, we're all just big kids trying to raise little kids to be better kids than we are.
Yeah. Well,
we'll just
Uncle Funk, you've been so generous with your time. Thank you. This has been a great conversation. I want to continue to support you guys. So as you come and launch and gain traction, open invite. I would love to have you back on the show. For people who are tuning in, and we got a bunch of people on Blaze who I know you because every time I go to Blaze, you're the number one show streaming, which is awesome. Congratulations on that. But we've had some people from Twitch and Twitter. Shout out to Ghost Cat. Shout out to Ice and Dark. Mount Doji was in here earlier. So what is the best place to follow you to stay up with the project? Obviously, Operation Safe Place is the Twitter right there.
OPS just at Uncle Functory, yeah.
__
TD. Yeah, the other original one got hacked. We lost it.
As it goes.
But yeah, that one there, I make plenty of noise at Uncle Functory. So my name's Andrew and Uncle Funk, so I just threw them to Uncle Functory. But I don't know, how did we connect on a DM? I'll also send you an open invitation so that you can jump on my show and then my community can get to know you. And then they can come and watch you. That'll be cool.
I would love that.
We can do a deep dive. I'm live every day at the same time.
What time do you go live?
It's 7 p.m. South African time. So it's now 12:20. So 5 hours ago.
1 p.m. EST for me, which is awesome. Well, it is late there, Uncle Funk. Shout out to Future in the chat saying funktastic, which I think if there was one, what's the word for this episode? It was funktastic. Sir, I'm going to drop you off and then I'm going to close out the stream, but really thank you so much for coming on. Really thoroughly enjoyed the conversation, and been following you and Operation Safe Place, apologize, for quite a while. So really excited to keep tabs on it, and let me know when you launch and the token and everything. I want to be able to support that.
Cool, man. Yeah, appreciate you. This was a lot of fun, and thank you. And may the ticks of 1,000 camels infest the armpits of your enemies.
I absolutely love that. I love that. I went on a bike ride the other day, and I was thinking, I don't know why, I was just thinking like I think it's no weapon of my enemy shall prosper or something like that.
Yeah. No weapon formed against me shall prosper.
Yes,
all those who rise up against me shall fall. Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, yeah, like let's go, yeah. Uncle Funk, pleasure spending some time. Can't thank you enough, and we'll keep talking.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. You're amazing, and it has been a long time coming. And the timing was perfect. Like I could actually understand everything you said, so that was great. But Gen X's have to meet the millennials. Yeah. Thank you.
That's how life works, man. When it's right, it's right. So
when it's right, it's right.
Just the beginning.
Love it. Thank you so much, Icy.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy your night.
Bye, everybody.
All right, guys. That was Uncle Funk. What a beautiful human being. I knew, but I didn't know. And now I know. And now you do too. Thank you guys for hanging out. You guys have been incredible in the chat. Shout out to JT, my guy with the raid, with the votes. I appreciate y'all. Brothers, I was live on Blaze for like 40 minutes and didn't get one single chat. Like 40 minutes into the show, I had to go to Blaze and make sure that I was live. I was like, did I forget to toggle something on? I was like, oh, I am live, but no one likes me today. So JT, it really meant a lot when you sent over the raid. Big shout out to Maddox, Behunted, Future, everybody showing love. Man, that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. It's interesting too. One of my takeaways, if I'm being honest, Uncle Funk can be critical on Twitter. And he's a big guy. He's got a lot of presence. So I thought, he said, he's like, oh, I'm real intense. I was like, no, you're a big teddy bear. You are so kind and have this beautiful heart and soul. And he does volunteer work, and he's got an NGO, and he's like helping, children in danger in South Africa from like sex trafficking. And holy, like, what an incredible human being. And oh, you've built this incredible game ecosystem to the point where, this is like what you're doing, and you go live every single day, and you've been streaming for over a year, and you've shown up day in day out, and you mentor and coach people struggling with depression and burnout, and you shared all these things. And it's like, wow, like these are the conversations that I love. I mean, I wanted, the point of the show is to talk about your game and, like learn about what you're building and try and get people, who are interested to check it out. But then you have conversations. I mean, this is the stuff that I really love for everyone that's kind of just meeting me. I used to do like a Friday positivity stream 3 years ago on Twitch where, it was just like positive vibes, positive mindset come together. We used to do Twitter spaces that were about mental health. So I absolutely love that type of energy. And, that's what it's about, man. We're all humans. We're all on this journey together. We're all figuring it out. We're all trying to do our best, and our paths cross, and we're able to show up for each other, like you guys showing up in the chat. Shout out to Rex. Shout out to I thought I saw someone else. Sofren. Sofrencia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Future, thank you for the 25 votes, man. Uncle Funk, thank you for the subscription. That's what it's about, man. As someone who tries to show up for people, show up for the space, show up for the streams, show up for the content as much as possible, I just like, the light in me honors the light in you, which is something that they say at the end of yoga classes. And I just love that energy. Like, the light in me honors the light in you. And when two lights can come together and shine bright in a conversation like the one that we just had with Uncle Funk, that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. With that said, guys, I appreciate y'all being here. We're still here. We are still here. Shout out to the Wolves DAO GDC hoodie from this year. Absolutely love that. My name is Icy Gaming. This has been another episode of Gaming Daily Live. That's going to do it for today. Thank you to all the incredible sponsors that we have that make this show possible. Blaze, YGG, Lowland, YGG Play, GigaChad Bat, Waifu Sweeper, AI Rev. For you guys here, don't go anywhere. I got to tell you about the poker game that I am hosting on Friday. $250 going to the Blaze community because I want to do something awesome and epic and fun. And so we are putting up $250. Can I make this bigger? It's free. It's free to play. Anybody can play. I've got $250 in Blaze in my wallet. I'm gonna announce the prize pool tomorrow. And we have like over 55 people registered already. I haven't told anyone that yet, but it's been incredible. So it should be a lot of fun. I think there's gonna be like 10, 12 tables. We'll see how many people we get. And we'll play for like 1 to 2 hours. And whoever makes it to the final table and wins money, I mean, that's the best feeling ever, right? So my goal here is my dream is like everybody on Blaze who's streaming, just like poker table. That'll be really cool. Gonna be super, super fun. Just my way to give back to the Blaze community. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, let me go to the show schedule. We have Sir Matthew Buxton. Once I find the tweet, man, I tweet a lot. It's crazy. We've got Sir Matthew Buxton coming on the show tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have another great conversation. Look at these 3 chads on the graphic, man. Nico, Uncle Funk, and Matthew Buxton. And then Friday we'll close out with the poker tournament. And that's it. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I appreciate y'all. Let's give a raid out to, you know what? I tuned into my guy. Ooh, you know what? Nah, we got to go to Kingbreaker. Kingbreaker gave the a really nice retweet on the poker tournament. So we are going to give him the raid, even though I got to spell Kingbreaker the right way because he's got letters and numbers in there. Raid Kingbreaker. Oh no, I think I don't know if I'm doing this the right way. It does always seem to work though. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this show. My name's Icy Gaming. We will see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful, lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much. Get that raid over there. And then everyone else on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. My name, once again, is Icy Gaming. This has been Gaming Daily. Stay humble, keep gaming, keep dreaming, make positivity louder.